Sorry about that, folks. We ran out in the middle of that, so I'm going to repeat those once again, because I don't know exactly when we ran out, so I must have been reading the schedule somewhere in there, so we're going to repeat it again. ABC started their lineup, of course, with The New Temperatures Rising. That starred Paul Lynn. And then 8:30, it was Tuesday Movie of the Week. Then at 10 o'clock, it was the Marcus Welby. Over at CBS, it started their night at 8 o'clock with Maude. 8:30 was Hawaii Five-0 till 9:30. CBS Tuesday night movie, Hawkins and Shaft. And like I said earlier, it was a rotated series, like NBC did with their mystery movie for a lot of years on Sunday night. Over on NBC, was their night started off with Chase at 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, it was The Magician. And again, that was Bill Bixby before he was the Incredible Hulk. He did a series called The Magician, which I'm not entirely sure how long that stayed on the air. At 10 o'clock, it was, of course, Police Story, which, like I said earlier, was a great series. So there you go. You're listening to Radio, Television, and Movie Classics, and like I said, it ran out, and I don't know exactly because I wasn't paying attention to when this ran out. So that's why I did that again, because it ran out just about that time in the middle of this segment. So I had to flip over very quickly. So we'll flip over to the next part coming up in the next hour, and we'll continue with Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. We continue this show, and like I said before, we'll be going to that 3-hour plan real soon. Along about November or about December, we should be bumping up. They are still keeping this 30% discount until today. So we're going to see what happens if we can get we should be bumping up to that in the holiday season when we start our bright holiday. We should be getting the next plan up, which is the 3-hour plan. So if I do, get knocked off the air in the middle of something, it's because I didn't check to see how much time I had left before I started that other segment. So again, I'm sorry about that. That just, I didn't mean to run out of time. Wasn't watching what I was doing there. But here we go. We continue the program as we continue the Radio, Television, and Movie Classics here on GJRB Online. We're going to continue with our series that we're doing, and we'll have more. And Retro Primetime, don't know what we're going to do on the next show. I'm looking at that. I think we'll kind of go back about 10 years and maybe do 63 or something like that. I'll let you know what we got coming up on the next show later on. So just to let you know about that. But meanwhile, let's just continue doing this program. I'm going to right now go into my thing to give you the answer to the mystery questions that we had. Taking a look at the 1955 to 1950s detective. We ended our last show with the mystery questions to the 1950s detective shows. So we're going to answer those right now. Now, a lot of you people didn't really respond to those questions on the last show. So I will do those. I'll answer those questions. Like I said before, I leave it to you to respond to those trivia questions at the end of each show. So if you're listening to the on-demand podcast of this program and you want to know the answers to those trivia questions, all you got to do is, if you know them, by the way, if you know them, the answers to the trivia questions, and then you can answer them there. I usually check to see if my email tells me that I have messages on my podcast, so I'll usually check to see if we have any answers to those trivia questions, and then I'll acknowledge you on the air if you have the correct answer. But here we are. I'm going to do a little bit of those now, and then we'll finish those off later. We have Weather on the 5s coming up in about 3 minutes or so. So about 2 minutes or so. So why don't we just spend a couple minutes and answer some of these. 1955 to 59 police drama, long considered to be one of the most successful syndicated shows of its time, starred Broderick Crawford as Chief Dan Matthews and A. Johnny Staccato, B, Big Town, C, Highway Patrol, or D, Crawford Mystery Theater? And the answer was Highway Patrol. I like to see that series. Broderick Crawford. Highway Patrol featured regular appearances by William Boyett, who then would go on to become Sergeant McDonald Mack on Adam 12. How about that? Number 2, the show seen in syndication in 1950 on CBS from 1951 through 1953, starring Reed Hadley as Captain John Braddock in the San Francisco Police Department. What was the name of this show? A, Bonko Squad, B, Racket Squad, C, Vice Division, or D, Robbery Homicide Detail? The answer was Racket Squad. There's another show I'd like to see. Racket Squad. And Reed Hadley then would go on to star in the series Public Defender from 1954 to 1955. Let's go over now to this one, and then we'll answer this question and then go to Weather on the Fives. So we'll answer this one real quick and do Weather on the Fives. From 1957 to 58, syndicated drama starring Beverly Garland as a female police officer. What was the name of the show? A, Policewoman, B, Undercover Woman, C, Target, or D, Decoy? The answer was D, Decoy. I answered Undercover Woman. That was the wrong answer. It was Decoy. Beverly Garland would go on to play Barbara Douglas on My Three Sons. And we'll answer some more of these questions coming up a little later on. The mystery questions, I'll answer some more of those coming up as we continue radio, television, and movie classics. But right now, let's do our Weather on the Fives and take a look at some national temperatures. We'll do that right now and take a look at what's going on here in Clinton. 42 degrees currently in Clinton, Iowa. Take a look at some cities across the nation here this afternoon, and take a look at some other cities that we have weather, including Houston, Texas. In some of those areas, we'll do some of those. Back home in Ambridge, really warm, that warm back home, 74. It's cold here. 46 degrees in Provo, Utah. Manteo, North Carolina, 68 degrees. Portland, Oregon's checking in at 61 with fair skies. Billings, Montana is only 40. Headed to Des Moines, Iowa right now, and just halfway across the state, 40 degrees right now. Los Angeles, California is warm at 87 degrees. And we'll check some of those other temperatures like Dallas, Texas, and Omaha, Nebraska coming up, and Las Vegas, Nevada coming up in the next half hour. Weather on the Fives, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour, and all music shows, 25 and 55 talk shows, or any time in the hour that ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 past the hour on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm Gary J. Russell. You're listening to the radio, television, and movie classics. And I love doing this trivia stuff. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy answering some of these. And coming up next hour, we got some more fun coming up. Stay with me as we do our radio, TV, movie classics. We'll answer the rest of my mystery questions next hour. Got a lot of new ones. We want to finish answering my mystery questions from the last show. We'll finish that up, and we'll do that. And let's see what else we got coming up. Well, let's see. We'll do that. We'll tell you what's coming up here in just a little bit right after we take a break here. And we'll be right back. You're listening to radio, television, and movie classics on GJRB.
You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, smooth jazz, and smooth afternoon.
If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming.
And programming in other great music formats.
Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish, and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy.
Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grassgolds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. On GJRB.
Mike. We're right back. I got more great memories for you as we continue our radio, television, movie classics after we take this break for Station ID on the GJRB Online Network.
This is the GJRB Online Network.